Ever tried role play in your classroom? If you're struggling to get your students speaking fluently in class, it's a secret weapon for language learning. In this video, I'll tell you why role play is so good, give you some top tips to make it go well, and, wait for the end, a great way to generate ideas for role play with AI. If this is the first time we're meeting, I'm Jo Gakonga. I've been teaching for 35 years and training teachers on CELTA and MA-TESOL programs for 25 of those. I've also got a website at elttraining.com where I make video-based material for teachers at all stages of their careers. Check it out, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more. I make a new video every week. Okay, role play. It seems to have gone out of fashion a bit, but it's great for several reasons. It's a good way to give learners fluency practice in class, maybe in situations that they might actually encounter in the real world, but in a safe, controlled environment, particularly. Role play can help to bridge that authenticity gap, and it can give learners exposure to language that they might really need. As well as that, giving people a role can help to decrease their general embarrassment, their affective filter in speaking a foreign language, and it can give them content, something to say when they can't think of anything. Pro tip here, role play doesn't always mean acting out a character. Sometimes learners can simply be themselves, but with a bit of a twist. Maybe a role card that gives them an opinion or a stance that they have to argue. It doesn't have to reflect their own views. And that can actually make the activity even more engaging and challenging. To make your role play sessions go off well, here are my top 3 tips. Number 1. Create an interesting scenario. Choose situations that are intriguing and have a bit of conflict. A touch of drama always kind of spices things up. Number 2, ensure that your learners have the language that they need. Make sure that they're equipped with the necessary vocabulary and phrases to navigate that scenario. Teach those before. Number 3, practice helps. Before getting into the full activity, let your learners practice in pairs with someone who has the same role. This helps to build their confidence before they switch roles and do the full scenario with somebody who's got the other role. As with any speaking activity, also make sure that you build in time for repetition and for error correction, because this is really where I think the real learning happens. Now, here's an easy way to generate role play ideas. Ask AI. Let me show you an example. Let's imagine a situation. Student A is going to a job interview next week, but they can't afford a hotel. They have an old friend who lives in the city, but they haven't spoken in years. Their task? Call the friend and ask if they can stay the night. Student B, on the other hand, is receiving the call, and the twist, they haven't kept in touch with student A because they didn't really like them. Plus, they live in a tiny flat in the city and they hate having visitors, but they're incredibly polite. So, ask AI for the role cards and it will give you something like this. You can even ask it to give you useful language to teach beforehand. So here's how you could set this up in class. Split your class into the two groups, A and B. Give each group the role card for their part and time to prepare what they're going to say. All of the A's together, maybe in pairs, and all of the B's together. So give them the phrases, ask them to practice, try to memorise some of the useful language. As they prepare, you can circulate, offering language support, tips, help pronunciation. Once everyone's ready, now pair up an A and a B and let the role play begin. Can student A persuade student B to let them stay? A useful extension activity here is to swap partners 2 or even 3 times, and then at the end ask the Bs who was the most persuasive. So that's it. A fun, practical way to use role play in your classroom and an easy method to generate scenarios with AI. If you found this helpful, don't forget to visit elttraining.com for lots more information for your teaching journey. See you there.